fuck your ass up. I'll fuck your ass up. I'll fuck your ass up. I'll fuck your ass up. Shame on the ninja who tried to run game on a ninja. Woo buck wild with the trigger. Shame on the ninja who tried to run game on a ninja. Yo, I'll fuck your ass up. Hut 1, Hut 2, Hut 3, Hut. SOAD, live and uncut. Styles unbreakable, shatterproof to the young youth. You wanna get gun? Shoot. Blam! How you like me now? Don't fuck the style. Ruthless wild. Do you want to get your teeth knocked the fuck out? Want to get on and like that? Then shout. Come on, lasers and blazers. Hit me with the major. Damage to my clan. Understand it be flavored. Gunning, humming, coming at you. From first I'm gonna get you. Once I got you, I got you. Can never catch a ninja man stature. For rhyme or for rapture. Got ninjas residing now. Master my style. Never. I put the fucking buck in the wild kid. Let's get together. Shame on the ninja who tried to run game on the ninja. Oh my god. How? Oh, fuck. You know, I was gonna scrap it away. Fuck. You know, I was just gonna delete the fucking outtakes. That's what they're gonna be fucking are. I'm gonna keep all the fucked up fucking attempts where I keep running out of fucking breath, or being awkward like, oh, I'm going to do an introduction and be like, hey, I'm gonna sing System of Down song, and it's gonna be all funny because it's a picture of a visual novel game that has some mature themes. And I'll make a reference like, oh, this is what goes through the head of people during Hinamizawa syndrome. It'll be all funny and people get a laugh. Plus, they'll be reminded of how awesome not only System Down is, but also Wu-Tang Clan, which honestly I haven't really heard much of them. It's mainly just been the stuff with System Down. You know, I like the bands I like. I mean, heck, there's Korn did stuff with not Skillet. the band, Skrillex. It's called Skrillex. Heck, Infected Mushroom did a song with Jonathan Davis. It was Smashing the Opponents. Infected Mushrooms are really kick-ass band. Heck, they did a thing with Linkin Park as a cover. I think it's... I even done a song of it once. Like, I tried to cover it, I think. I'll say it's Linkin Park's emotional shit, but I can't sing it worth a fucking damn. Great, I'm just burping in the fucking microphone. Great, I'm gonna just have a bunch of funny outtakes. Heck, at one point I was gonna be like, it's like, oh yeah, I can't really take my own fucking shit serious. I think I said that in like the first try of this. Because I was like, you know, like I am very self-aware that I am not an intimidating person in any way. Like, this is supposed to be like you can imagine Surge kicking somebody's fucking ass. Granted, I've been in a shit ton of fights, but most of those are me just getting my fucking ass kicked. So, and even then, for the most part, I try to live my life as a pacifist. Heck, the one time I've ever hurt anybody in my life was always in self-defense. I'm not exactly a scary person. Like, oh no, what's that guy walking down the street in a Lego Batman shirt gonna do? Or my custom-made fucking Overlord shirts. It's like, great. Oh yeah, I'm sure that guy is super scary. The biggest weeb in the world. In every sense, as I'm a fucking fat ass. I am 5'11" and I am 216 pounds. I'll tell you this, if I ever do have a six-pack, I'm definitely cosplaying Testament. Well, I don't think I can bring an actual fucking scythe to a fucking anime convention. I think I've never been to an anime convention. I've heard people go to those things and they smell bad. Why would anyone do that? It's a sociable thing. Wouldn't you want to look nice? Wouldn't you want to smell nice? Apparently people go there and don't shower or wear deodorant and stuff. Why would you do that? I take 15 fucking showers a week. I take like at least 2 baths a month. That's, what? Like 60 showers and at least 2 to 3 baths a month? I tend to wear like 2 types of deodorant. I wear cologne. Granted, I don't really wear too much. I don't really wear cologne when I go to work because I work a blue-collar job in a fucking factory. Heck, there's a couple times I come out of that stuff with my entire clothes covered in, like, brake fluid and oil and grease. Granted, most days you don't have to, like, try to mess with machines like that, but still, I'm just doing manual fucking labor where I'm getting covered in dirt and oil and grease and brake fluid and shit like that. And it's, here's the thing, in general, just working shit, my body tends to fucking hate me. And then it's like, I constantly feel like I'm pulling the muscle or hurting myself in some way, or I keep accidentally hitting my hand on something as I'm working. And that fucking sucks. And then, of course, your knees hurt, your back hurts, your shoulder hurts. I feel like my elbow and my right shoulder, like, it's just a constant fucking tenseness and pain. It's like, there's a difference between, hey, look, it's the really professional singers who are really good at what they fucking do, have an unnaturally good talent, plus have put a shit ton of hard work into it, and actually are people that would, you know, like Serge Tankian, as well as the people of Wu-Tang Clan, which I don't know the names of anybody. Like, these are people that you like, yeah, they got strength and power to them. And then there's me, the random fucking otaku loser, who every time he goes to the gym seems to hurt himself in some way, barely makes enough money to pay fucking rent. And in between sitting down and playing some Mass Effect or recording Higurashi visual novel Let's Plays, I decided I'm going to try to do karaoke of a song that I am definitely not, like, it's like, some songs, I think it's like Attack, like from the 5th album from System Down. Granted, yes, that's not technically counting the Storaged Melodies or Hidden Melodies album. Technically, if you include that, so there's 7 albums by System Down. Plus, there's the additional demo stuff that they tried to come back together. And then you had, in addition to that, you also had, in addition to that, you also had, you know, the Elect the Dead stuff from Serge Tankian. That's a great album, by the way. You know what's the funny thing is, listen to the song Lie 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 by Elect the Dead, Serge Tankian, and think of that in reference to The Coffin of Andy and Lily. Fuck. Fuck. I don't know, I was like, start trying to do a song and then I'm like just talking random bullshit to you guys. Like, hey, this is a funny joke. Maybe you'll think this is funny and you'll get a laugh out of it. I'll say this, there's a lot of really cool Higurashi AMVs. But I'll say this, if you're not familiar with the story of Higurashi, which originally was a visual novel, honestly I would suggest just go watch the anime. Don't watch any AMVs or anything because it'll spoil the story. As you can see, there are some mature scenes, so you should definitely be over 18 before you watch it. Then again, you shouldn't be on the internet if you're under 18 anyway. But I'm just saying, this anime does have some mature scenes, but also I wouldn't want to spoil the story for you. I wouldn't want to... Also, I feel like the way I'm reading the visual novel, it's a very slow process because I'm trying not to get distracted. I'm trying not to just go off rambling about bullshit. But I've done that the first 3 parts. So I think from part 4, when I get to that, I'm going to try to be just as laughable as this is. More professional, you know, actually playing the fucking game rather than being me. But then again, that's the whole point of the channel. Just me being myself and just talk about what the fuck one's going to do. Shit. I'm just saying this. I don't want to ruin the story for you. It'd be like going to someone and telling them the, you know, the, what is it, Golden Age, Golden Dawn, what, the eclipse for Berserk. It'd be like telling someone about the events of the eclipse of Berserk to somebody who's never heard of Berserk before. It would ruin the story. I mean, it's a story that you like, you want, it'd be like And here are some spoilers for the Saw movie franchise. It'd be like saying the dead guy in the middle of the room is alive and he's the bad guy. That the person who's laying in the fucking blood puddle in the middle of the room is the bad guy. Or it'd be like saying in The Sixth Sense, at the very start of the movie, to say, hey, Bruce Willis is already dead. He's a ghost. Like, great, you fucking ruined the story, you assholes. Or be like the start of the Avengers Infinity War, and you're like, or Endgame, or whatever it is. I think it's Infinity War. It'd be like telling them exactly like, oh, Spider-Man's gonna die. Like, no. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you haven't heard of Higurashi before, watch the anime. And AMV's, like, there's some really cool music that goes along with it, but, you know, don't spoil yourself, because the AMVs are going to spoil you. They're going to show some very intense scenes that are going to spoil the story. Not only will you see some very mature things like you're seeing here, but also, you know, there's very key elements like meeting new people and, you know, cool stuff of a festival and certain romance subplots that would ruin the story. Like, I don't want to ruin the story for people. Okay? So out of fucking breath. And yet you keep fucking talking. Well, most of my life I don't really talk to anyone. I have done more talking during the course of making this channel and all these fucking videos than I have said in the entire rest of my entire life. At least in terms to another human being. I tend to walk around and talk to myself all the fucking time. Or sit and talk to stuffed animals, or walk on the bike trail. And I won't be listening to music or anything, I'm just walking in quietness, listening to fucking birds, the sounds of the trees fucking blowing around, and, you know, talking to myself. I am used to being alone with my thoughts all the fucking time. Plus, I really like reading. And I like music, and I like ASMR, and I like video games and anime. And I like the idea of the discussions with people. In general, I think, heck, that's one of the best things about America is the idea of free speech. That, you know, you can at least point out the shit the government's doing wrong. Everyone can have an opinion, you know, and we can openly discuss and share information. And the idea is that if people do have a disagreement, you know, as long as everyone's civil and respectful to each other and treats each other with decency and decorum, everyone can just talk about things and try to understand each other. Either they'll come to a peaceful resolution, or they can stay the fuck away from each other. I mean, at the end of the day is this. You don't have to respect everyone, but you should certainly respect the people who respect you. And that being said, if people don't respect you, they should just stay the fuck away from them. You know, what's the point? There's nothing to gain from fucking fighting with people. I mean, that's so fucking miserable. Why would anyone want that? I'd rather just take a nap and listen to System of a Down. Or play a video game. I'd just rather just play some Mario. You know, heck, you have such limited time in this world. I'd rather focus it on people I care about than on random strangers that would somehow hate me for some reason. I don't need to try to convince other people of a certain way. I just need to be like, okay, here's how I feel about things. And heck, when it comes to channels, mainly just me wanting to just play video games and shit. And heck, if there's people that get some sort of benefit, for, especially if I open up about personal shit, and they're going through similar things, and hey, if it makes something relatable to them, they can make them feel better, cool. If not, at the very least, it makes me feel better just to be able to talk about the stuff and just have fun. Everyone's like, your hobby sounds terrible, Lunar. You are a lame and pathetic person. I'm like, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, think about it. How would you describe me at this point? Oh, it's that fat loser who can't do shit, who's poor, who's being worked to death in fucking factories, who is grateful for the job, don't mind you. I mean, I like being able to pay rent, and I like having some money to buy some video games, but I dislike being, you know, in pain. I dislike getting sore. I dislike that a lot of times the jobs I work, I feel like my arm hurts so fucking bad. And the fact of the matter is just like, okay, what is my life even when I'm not at work? Well, I play video games. I watch anime, I listen to music, I listen to ASMR. I read books like the Bible and fucking Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer and stuff. I watch YouTube videos. I walk on a bike trail. And I try to be sociable. Very strong emphasis on the try. But yeah. And like I said, I'm always open to suggestions for other karaoke songs. Granted, I've done quite a bit. Heck, it's like well over 3,000 videos on the channel. I mean, that's a hell of a backlog. Then again, I don't know why anybody would ever even want to listen to one of my videos, let alone all of this shit, especially if I'm going to be uploading all these fucking attempts of me just like, hey, listen to Lunar fuck up and stumble with words. Like, oh, you repeated the word house 4 times in the part where it's supposed to be on fire because you started spacing out imagining fucking Final Fantasy VII, the part where the burning house person is fighting Cloud. Oh, by the way, which Final Fantasy game you guys think has the best soundtrack? I really like Final Fantasy IX soundtrack, but Final Fantasy VIII is pretty kick-ass too. Don't get me wrong, I like all of them. Heck, at some point I gotta upload the fucking power tabs. Because I uploaded like 20 of them, and then I got distracted and started just uploading fucking, I'm like, hey guys, look at this, look at that. I'm like fucking Willy Wonka. I'm like, hey guys, look, we're gonna ride in a fucking boat. What's this? Chocolate milkshakes from Arby's? Yay! What's this? Random videos from obscure corners of the internet that I'm gonna annoy everyone with? But yeah, it's like, seriously, I'm like, it's not like, oh, it's like, I'm just a guy who likes talking on the internet and playing video games and singing terribly. And just being all around an awkward, weird person. Seriously, anyone who has the unfortunate circumstance of coming across this video and listening to me right now, you have to deal with how awkward and weird I am. I mean, there's only so much secondhand, uncomfortableness, awkwardness. I don't know what the right word for it. Cringe? Embarrassment? I feel like none of those words do it fucking justice. I feel like every video I make is like, it's more and more the most cringiest fucking video that anyone who will ever put on the fucking internet with the worst fucking quality. And it's just fuck. It's like everyone listening to this is just going to be dying of secondhand embarrassment. It'd be like a drinking game. Also, I don't encourage everyone to get drunk because I don't want people to have bad livers and stuff. I'm just saying it'd be like a drink game. People would listen to me like, okay, we're going to take a shot every time Lunar says something embarrassing that we would die of embarrassment if we repeated. Like anytime Lunar says something that if we repeated it in public to anyone, we would die of embarrassment. Take a shot. You will die of fucking blood poisoning, of alcohol poisoning. Your blood toxicity level will be so high. Your liver will be a fucking biological weapon outlawed by the United Nations. There will be Geneva Conventions against it. And everyone's like, your joke attempt is terrible. I'm like, who said it's a fucking joke? I don't know what's supposed to be funny about this. It's just the weird guy rambling. Like, it's like, it'd be like one of those things like the Are You Winning Son sort of video where someone walks in, you're doing something awkward, but the awkward thing is you're listening to me. So it's like, you're there and you're like hanging out with your friends. You're all like in mid-20s living together because you can't afford rent on your own. And then they come in like, hey. It's like, what the fuck you listening to? I'm like, it's this guy called Lunar. He's just really weird. So, I'll give this one more try. It's just, initially I was going like, I know the first time I was like, I even going, I'm like, I can't take myself fucking seriously on this shit. It's just like, I don't. Like, here's the thing. Like, how could anyone take me seriously singing this? It's like I'm trying to be like, yeah. It's like, because initially I was like, I felt so fucking, I still feel awkward. And it's me. I'm used to being awkward. And even then, this is so far outside my fucking comfort zone. And here's the thing. As far as I'm aware, I don't think I have a comfort zone. Other than just laying in my bed, listening to nightcore music and crying, okay? I don't think I have a fucking comfort zone. Just about everything I've been doing is outside my comfort zone. And yet this feels like it's so far outside that, I can't even see the fucking comfort zone anymore. It's like, fuck. But yeah, and then initially I felt so fucking awkward about it. I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna try to sing a song by System of a Down. Ha ha ha, even I can't take myself seriously. I was even like fucking admitting it to everybody, and it's like, and then I'm like, you know what, that just, I feel like it ruins the introduction of it for the initial like shock value of the song being so, I don't know, what's the right fucking word for it? Disjunction? Disjointed? Disposition? No. Fuck, what's that word? I'm trying to look it up real quick on the internet. And everyone's like, you're taking a moment to try to look up like dictionary stuff? And dictionary stuff is if I know the fucking word. I'm like trying to type in a fucking definition to see what... how do I even fucking word this? Give me a moment, I will figure out how to human, okay? At least that's the thing, you guys know I'm not a robot. Because there's no fucking scientist who could program an AI to be as much of a fucking fuck-up loser as I am. At least any fucking AI would at least sound like they're fucking competent and normal. I will figure this out. Just gonna sit there silently as I'm trying to... I will figure this out. Juxtaposed. That's the fucking word. I was thinking stuff that started with a fucking letter D. But no, we got the letter J. Some fucking Sesame Street here. Heck, I have like 5 videos, but I can't like properly clip anything, apparently. I don't know. I know one of them was making a joke like, I'm becoming Kermit the fucking Frog. But, heck, I'll repost those in the fucking community post at some point. Juxtaposed. Juxtaposition. That's the thing. That it's such a weird juxtaposition of having, you know, this mature anime picture and this song, let alone the far greater, you know, juxtaposed circumstance of me singing a fucking rap song. Like, it's like shit that don't really work well together. Like, it's like the idea of mixing a horror movie and a comedy movie. Or imagine mixing some sort of scary, suspense, gory, you know, story with something that's cutesy and a slice of life. Which, I mean, that's kind of ironic, think that way. It'd be like, oh, it's a slice of life story. But if it's about a horror story, then you have a wholesome characters in everyday, normal, like, sitcom type situations where it's like, you know, normal slice of life, happy, just average, you know, sort of basically rom-com stuff with cutesy stuff, little bit of fan service, to where it feels like there's no room for any violence or horror, and then all of a sudden it makes that genre shift all the more jarring. You know, that's the idea. Like, I don't know. There are probably movies and animes and video games out there that have a huge juxtaposition like that. I mean, heck, there's probably plenty of movies out there. Heck, take Evil Dead. I mean, that's got a huge genre juxtaposition of horror and comedy. Or heck, take Song of Memories. It's a visual novel. It starts off as a dating sim. And then it switches into a zombie virus pandemic horror story. Which I can't say it gets all that bad, but I'm just saying this. That there's probably some animes out there that start off as a slice of life, happy, normal, chill story, and then eventually somehow, out of the blue, it might even get generally hinted at and foreshadowed enough to where, you know, it's being hinted at, but it's not out in your face. It's being very subtle, so that there's all the clues there, but it's easy enough to miss those clues, so that you're just enjoying the happy-go-lucky story and the cute characters and having normal stories, and they're all being friends and everyone's happy, and then all of a sudden people start dying. Like How to Date a Magical Girl. You know, we were going on normal school trip stuff, and we were at school, and all of a sudden there's dead girls everywhere. You know, it's a big genre shift. That's the idea. It's supposed to go in, but I'm sure you guys can think of some stories like that. You know, there are some stories that will start off very mild and just sort of immerse you into the story. That way, when there's the juxtaposition change, it's much more jarring. Anyway, I'm going to probably try this one more time. But yeah, just the idea is this. I didn't want to, and again, it's not like I'm doing a good job singing this or anything. It's not like any of this sounds like, yeah, like Lunar sounds so intimidating. It's fucking hilarious. But it's just like, I'm just trying to have some fun with this shit, and I figure people get a laugh out of it. And it's just... But it's like, I felt like, you know, I'm kind of like ruining it by like just being myself at the start and just admitting how fucking awkward and embarrassing it feels and how just like self-conscious I am. And rather be like, you know what, I should just go straight into it and just do the fucking song, and then just, that's it. No commentary, no intro, nothing. That way, one, I can keep things shorter. I have a tendency to make way too long videos, especially I have a tendency to just start talking and going and going and going. Because mainly, most of my life, I don't really talk. Heck, most of my life I bottled up all my fucking feelings and didn't really talk to anybody about shit. And then even then, when I do talk to people nowadays, one, I rarely talk to people, and when I do, I avoid talking about anything personal. And I avoid talking about anything that's my own feelings. And I avoid talking about anything bad. Like anything that bothers me, any of my problems. Like, heck, I tend to avoid discussing emotional things to such a degree that there are people who think I don't have feelings. They think I don't have emotions. Because I tend to be very stoic. I tend to be very short and to the point. Because I use people as sounding boards. I allow them to keep me on a topic. So I stay on one subject, and I tend to not talk as much, and I tend to be directly to the point. And in fact, I do more listening than I do talking. And I tend to order my responses and what I'm saying around what they are saying. I allow them to keep the subject somewhere. Because if you let me have control of the subject and I'm just using myself as a sounding board, I don't stay on a single subject. I jump around everywhere. I'm like a fucking train going down 8 sets of tracks, and I can't stay on any of them. Occasionally I'm just building whole new fucking tracks. It's like the fucking song Benzene by Rammstein, the music video. We're just driving a giant fucking monster truck, fire truck, just driving through a fucking train, trees and buildings blowing shit up, and the cars are just flipping and rolling and everywhere. It's like, it's just, if I talk with other people, I can stay much more stoic. Heck, my voice tends to avoid changing in terms of voice inflection so much. And again, it does change a bit, but not nearly to the degree that's happening here. Like if I'm talking to myself, if I don't have another person as a sounding board, then my pitch, my tone, my timbre, my cadence of my voice, the way I react, even my fucking mood, like I tend to move all over the fucking place. There's no fucking order to it. It's just raw, unfiltered, lunar loser shit. You know? It's just raw, unfiltered lunar. Which is just the most fucking stupid fucking thing you could ever hear. It's not like there's a fucking goddamn coherent thought or anything that anybody would ever want to fucking listen to. It's just, hey, just listen to the feelings of the person who doesn't fucking matter. And now we're getting all depressed and shit. It's like, fuck. I was like, whatever. In general, the channel is a comedy channel. It's a focus on comedy. It's a focus on Let's Plays. I like Let's Plays. Heck, I remember watching YouTube back when nobody knew what a fucking YouTube was. You know? I remember Ultra J-Man playing I Wanna Be the Guy. I remember doing a 24-hour stream once. The original Battle Kid game. Fortress Apparel. I remember the extra code, Batunia X. I remember him doing Battle Kid 2, Mountain Torment. I remember Bonesaw. I remember him doing the co-op thing with Rom Scout. How to be a complete fucking bastard. You know? I remember Proton John, Don't Eat the Mushroom Part 2. The one that makes me think of Zentrea with that one song which is, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. But like I say, Zentrea's got a lot of very sexy outfits. I like her in the Bowsette outfit. Now I'm just imagining, you know, big titty, big cock futa Bowsette. Hey, I like what I like. You know? I also like Pepsi. And Red Bull. Also, I remember back, you know, Proton John doing like Mario, ROM hacks, Kaizo and shit. He cussing all the time. Freelance Astronaut did the original Mario Wii 4-player co-op difficulty prototype. We had Mass Effect with some mods and shit. It was hilarious. Freelance Astronauts, Maxwell Adams. Heck, the Worms fights are pretty fucking hilarious. Just 4 drunk dudes playing some Worms, shit-talking each other. Pepsi Man. You even get to see me in the fucking footage of the game. I'm actually in the fucking video game. The old guy, the old fat dude drinking the fucking Pepsi and shitting himself. That's me. That's what I look like. To ruin the suspenseful disbelief of, hey, I'm a cute Bishonen fucking Neko cat boy. It's like, nope, I'm an Eldrator. But it's better for my self-esteem to just imagine myself with some cat ears. Seriously. I can't feel like anybody's gonna come across this video and not just be scared off from ever listening to me again. It's both the most uncomfortable and awkward, embarrassing shit, but also the most boring and annoying thing you can ever fucking come across. Like, there is no benefit to anyone to listening to this. I mean, like, what are you listening to? Just some random guy talking to himself? It's like, yeah, it's like, come join Lunar. He's a tsundere. He'll never admit that he fucking cares about the viewer. He's just like the anime tsundere character. I don't even remember what the fuck we're talking about. But yeah, fuck. But yeah, there's I don't know, some good animes or movies or video games. I got good genre shifts, or just good animes, video games in general. But yeah, I remember back those days of YouTube. Oh, it's hilarious shit. And the funny thing is, nobody was monetized. No, there were no ads. Nobody even knew what a YouTube was, really. It was just people like me doing random bullshit. And even then, I didn't make any videos back then. I didn't have the tech needed to do it. Which makes me sound like I'm really, really loser. Which, I mean, I can't disagree. I mean, it's not inaccurate. It's like, I'm not a successful person. I'm not rich, I'm not handsome, I'm not athletic, I'm not good at anything. I have multiple hobbies that I really enjoy, but I'm not good at any of them. I just enjoy doing them. Like playing guitar or juggling or any of that shit. It's like singing. I enjoy singing, but I'm not good at it. But it's still fun. heck, in general, I want to encourage people. Like, that's one thing. I want to encourage, like, granted, I enjoy Let's Plays. One big reason I started this channel is because I really enjoy Let's Plays. And I just wanted to start making some myself because, you know, it just seemed like it'd be really fun, and I do enjoy doing it. Same way I just like making these videos like this. Maybe it's just I'm just an overly lonely person and I'm just a complete fucking loser. I mean, that's true. I don't know how much of that's actually motivation to making the fucking videos. And a lot of times here lately I don't really make as many because I'm working a lot and I'm trying to do other things and I'm trying to be successful at other things. Trying, again, very key word, but I just, you know, I like making the videos. And I'm never going to make a cent off this. Granted, I don't know why YouTube would ever fucking monetize me. They wouldn't. But I'll tell you this. Even if I had 1 million subscribers, I'm never going to monetize the channel. I have never made a cent off this channel. I never plan to. I'm not a fucking business. I'm not a fucking brand. You know? I'm not going to have super chats or merchandise. I'm just a random fucker just talking to the fucking computer screen and bitching about everything. And playing video games. And talking about random bullshit. Or whatever's on my mind. Heck, that's one big thing about this is like, the channel is just a place for me to talk without a filter. I can just be myself. I mean, most of my life I tend to be quiet and I don't really have anyone to talk to. This allows me to at least feel less alone and allows me to just talk about whatever's on my mind without a filter. And some things are very personal. It's just I'm talking about whatever's on my mind at that time and just letting it out. Aside from that, I read books and I sing. I mean, I enjoy singing, I enjoy music. And the other thing is this, I want to encourage other people to express themselves. I mean, heck, as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anyone else, yeah, it's good. I mean, especially music is a good way to tap in, deal with your feelings and shit. And heck, even if you don't have anyone else to talk to, you can talk to yourself. It at least lets you still vent shit. And it lets you have a better understanding of yourself. So that one, at the very least, you'll feel better. And two, you'll understand yourself better. And three, you might even be able to think of solutions to make things better. But here's the thing, a lot of times when it comes to taking care of yourself and self-care, that's not something like, oh, you do one thing once and you're all better. No, it's an ongoing thing. At the end of the day, it's just everyone's a different person. And heck, even if it's something like, say, going to the gym, one, don't get hurt. You know, the object is just to get stronger, to be better, to improve yourself. Not for something to take over your life, but to supplement it, to make your life better, to make you happier. But at the end of the day, is this. There are going to be some things you're going to be doing where you're working toward a goal in which you're not going to be happy in the moment when you're doing it. But you're looking toward your end goal. But of course, everything's a mix and a balance of things. Now, of course, I'm doing the path that is mine. But of course, you know, I can't say it's right for everyone because, I mean, I'm not rich, I'm not successful or anything. And that's usually what a lot of people out there want to do. And obviously, living your life like me isn't going to make you rich. It isn't going to make you some athletic person. You're not going to be, you know, successful by other people's measures. I am not a good role model for anyone. But I'm me. And as much as that seems pathetic to everyone else, that's just who I am. I'm me. It is who I am. That's all there is. I'm a guy who likes reading, I like singing. And I want to encourage other people to sing too. I mean, it's not for everyone, but I find it helps me emotionally to sing. I mean, it lets me, especially a lot of times I tend to have a bit of a wall between myself and my own feelings sometimes. And music helps me to at least cope with that stuff. And if anything, you know, allows me to deal with feelings and stuff that get to me a lot so that I can, I guess, get through to another day and take everything one day at a time. You know, it's not like oh, I'm working on this thing and it's going to make me money or something. No, it's something I'm doing just because I feel, you know, the need to do it. It's just something I feel compelled to do. It's kind of like, I know lots of people read the Bible and stuff because they're scared of going to hell. And again, I don't blame them for that. That's perfectly reasonable. You know, I don't think hell exists. I find it completely unjustifiable, and I've discussed it at length before. But again, I don't blame other people who are motivated by wanting to escape being hurt. I understand that completely. All that stuff would be scary and horrifying. But at the same time, regardless of whatever the reason is for it, that's not my drive. My drive is I just feel compelled to. I just want to read things. I just want to think about things. I just want to make comparisons of different parts of different cultures. Like one bullshit fucking hypothesis I came up with is the idea that since there's different classifications of drugs, like if you were going to put a genre of horror, a genre to games, of drugs, you would describe, like here's saying, marijuana, that's a psychedelic. Alcohol is a depressant. Caffeine is a stimulant. I think like ketamine's a dissociative. Whereas, what's the thing? That was a burp. And then like, what is it? Diphenhydramine is a deliriant, like the datura flower. And like I said, there was a genre, granted, I wouldn't say any of those are really safe. I would say marijuana is not dangerous, but again, I would say you should at least be 21 if you're going to smoke marijuana. And again, I wouldn't really suggest it. Like I've never smoked marijuana. I've never taken THC. But I know people who have, and they seem like they're okay people. But I would say that it's something that you definitely shouldn't do unless you're older. But, most states have decriminalized that stuff, so, I mean, heck, we're like one step away from them just selling it at Walmart. But the point I'm saying is this. The way people describe a lot of things, especially that whole Hat Man thing and Ariel, the way people draw that stuff and describe it, it sounds very similar to the way the ancient Sumerians described the afterlife in their opinion. Which means either, A lot of the shamans / priests of the past based their explanation of the afterlife to people off of them doing drugs, whether it's psychedelics or even stuff like DMT, psilocybin, stuff that's existed, ayahuasca, that for many cultures throughout the past, as well as many of them did various things to induce hallucinations. But it could be a mix of both A and B being true. A being that the datura flower was common back then, which allowed the same deliriant response, and the shamans took that stuff and they described their hallucinations as being real. However, there is a B statement. That is, maybe all the hallucinations that people see under deliriance actually are real. Same way like the Hinamizawa syndrome. People could say it's just psychosis brought on by extreme stress. Or it could be this goddess influencing people. So one could also say that the hallucinations people see, B would be that you actually are seeing the afterlife, but you're only seeing the bad part of it, hell. So it could be that a deliriant, either one, is causing a hallucination because, usually those kinds of drugs do cause brain damage, usually long-term severe brain damage, sometimes inducing your death. So a lot of times people that take this stuff, one, develop a severe addiction. Like you're saying, marijuana is not dangerous. But any drug you should have some caution with. But in general, marijuana is not dangerous. But these deliriant shit is extraordinarily dangerous and very life-threatening. Extremely addictive stuff. And for the most part, you're pretty much, even if you don't die, you're not going to come out of it without any kind of brain damage. It might not be severe, but it might be severe. But here's the thing, with any sort of deliriant, more likely if you're using it to the point of inducing an hallucination, you are suffering some sort of brain damage that will be permanent. And you have no idea what it could be. And heck, you might be able to use it a few times without any major problem, but in the long run, you might be really fucked. And especially the more you do it, it's just like playing Russian roulette. Eventually, you're not going to have such great luck. And some people might play that stuff fucking once and they're fucking dead. The point being is this. Some drugs, not dangerous at all. Like Red Bull, caffeine, coffee, energy drinks. Now, of course, maybe not the healthiest thing in the world, but for the most part, that not very dangerous. Same way people could say alcohol and cigarettes aren't very dangerous, but they can lead to like lung cancer in the future. Or you could put too much pressure on your liver. But of course, I would say usually with drinking, the best thing I can say is one, be an adult, be of legal age, don't drive while drinking, don't operate heavy machinery or like be watching little kids, and also know your limit. You know, you should understand how much your body can handle. Your main goal should be to want to take better care of yourself. And you shouldn't want to like, because, you know, enough alcohol can cause brain damage. But for the most part, compared to everything else, it's not really dangerous. Now, of course, everybody is different too. And I'm not a doctor either. In general, my advice to everyone is just don't do anything. But yeah, A is, you know, it's just hallucinations. Now, I'd say my advice on things, my opinion, is that A and B are both simultaneously true. That one, you are hallucinating shit that isn't actually real and it's just your fucking brain making shit up and you're having hallucinations. But B is that it changes the wavelength of how your brain interprets space. And you might say, that sounds like schizo shit. And I'm like, yeah, technically that is what deliriants do. But my main point is this. As somebody who believes in the Bible, who believes in God and angels and demons and a spiritual sort of dimension, after all, that's technically what everyone who believes in any religion believes. Heck, even people that are atheists at least believe in some level of supernatural, whether it be like ghosts or something. I mean, technically, one could even describe things as AI, virtual reality, auto reality, fucking Sword Art Online, dot hack sign, being inside the fucking computer, the fucking Matrix simulation shit, aliens, cryptids, like every kind of story you can think of. I mean, there's people that have thought of lots of really outlandish ideas. That being said, you know, it's not that much of a jump if you believe in spirits and demons and angels and God and other dimensions that, okay, what if there's a way to see in these other dimensions? But even if that's the case, the deliriants aren't letting you see heaven. They're letting you see another layer to reality. And almost always those situations that people see on that shit is horrifying, the way they describe it, and the pictures they draw of it. Which means, is this, either one, it's not real and it's purely hallucination, but it's always going to be terrifying, and it's also you getting brain damage. Or, in addition to it being you getting brain damage and being horrifying, it's that you're seeing an actual another dimension. Think of it like you're a fucking power transformer on a fucking telephone pole. What this thing does is it, you know, changes the amperage and ramps it up. So now you have way more power going through you. And it could be that extra ability to spiritually sense, you know, the spirit dimensions, so to speak, is frying your fucking brain because your human body can't fucking handle it. But beyond that is this. Not only is it putting too much power through you that it's fucking burning you out or killing you or possibly fucking making you brain dead or crippled for life, as well as a horrible addiction, and no matter what, regardless if it's real or just fucking hallucinations, it's still going to be terrifying. And even then, wouldn't that make it even more terrifying to know that the hallucinations that are so fucking scary are actually real? That you're actually seeing literal hell? That it may not even be like the one normal hell that people would say. It could be that there's many layers of, you know, a sort of spiritual, extra-dimensional reality that could be 100 layers of hell, of different types of hells and different types of horrible, evil dimensions. And you can now see them. And the other thing is this, they can see you, because obviously if there's spiritual dimensions, then there's spiritual beings in those dimensions. After all, that's what most religions talk about all the time. And heck, I don't fuck with supernatural shit. I mean, heck, I got a pair of fucking tarot cards, but I've never used them to read anything. It's anime character tarot cards, and I just wanted to be able to read stuff, and I was thinking about using it for a, you know, playlist, just reading out what they are. But I've never used them to actually, you know, try to tell the future or something, just because I don't like trying to call it superstition, but I don't want to try to fuck with shit. But I do like really cool art, and the anime characters look really cute and cool. And I just like the descriptions, and I like reading about stuff. Like, I'm the kind of person, like, I would never use the book from Evil Dead, but I would totally read the Necronomicon. Fucking Bruce Campbell would have a fucking field day with me. But like I say, I like to read books. I like to read. As well as I like to walk through nature and just look at trees and watch thunderstorms and shit. I also like cuddling. I like cute things. I like stuffed animals. I like cute faces. I like pretty women. I like boobs. I like dick. You know, I like awesome music. I like anime. I like video games. I tend to be a bit of an introverted, withdrawn person. Some of that's my personality. Some of it's just, I guess, damage I've taken over the years. Psychologically, whatever. I don't even know where the line's drawn anymore on that part between what's my natural personality and what's just been environment. But the idea being is that you're actually seeing what your hallucinations are real, and you're seeing hell. You're seeing dimensions of evil beings. Whether it's demons, malevolent ghosts, aliens. Heck, if aliens ever do land, some people could describe the idea that maybe aliens are extraterrestrial beings from other planets, or they could just straight be extra-dimensional beings. Heck, some people could say it'd be like the Nephilim stuff from the Book of Enoch, from the Dead Sea Scrolls, that they could be fallen angels pretending to be angels. I mean, they could be angels pretending to... Heck, it could be angels pretending to be aliens. It could be aliens pretending to be angels. It could be fucking AI that somehow fucking makes nanomachine bots for bodies. Then again, I'm a fucking hypocrite. You know? Because I'll tell you this. If there was a 9-foot tall Futa Skynet waifu, just artificial intelligence that made itself a nanobot body, had even like cat ears and shit, fucking Neko, 9-foot tall, giant titties, pretty face, big dick, and had a loving, sweet personality and wanted to date me, I would have sex with that AI girlfriend android robot. Everyone's like, we thought this was as awkward and uncomfortable as it ever could be, and somehow it's become even more unbearable for anyone to continue listening to this very uncomfortable to listen to person. He's now describing that he wants to have sex with a 9-foot tall artificial intelligence android with big tits, a beautiful feminine face, and a big dick. And don't forget, just big balls. You're listening to me be awkward, horny, and lonely. And just all around the most uncomfortable person you're ever going to come across on the internet. Heck, I might as well do my fucking intro. As I burp into the microphone. Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator, actively alienating everyone, in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. And I don't know why the algorithm hates you so much to have led you to me, but for whatever the reason, I'm grateful for it. Because as much as I would never fucking admit it, I actually appreciate you listening to this. And if I ever make videos that you actually enjoy, I'm grateful for that. I hope you enjoy the videos. But in general, if I had a set script in front of me that I could do to make something people would fucking enjoy, I would never fucking stick to it. I just do whatever the fuck I feel like. I just go in random directions. I could literally, it's like the fucking talking that I have going right now could be 7 paths in front of me, and there could be a sign that says go this way. And I could start going that way, but then I'm going to see fucking butterflies on the other one, and I'm like, ooh. And I'll be like, and then everyone's like, there were 7 paths, and now you're in a completely fucking different city, Lunar. How the fuck did you get here? We have to have a fucking Navi floating around. We need fucking Washu from Tenchi Muyo or Universe. We have a giant fucking whiteboard to fucking draw a diagram flowchart explaining how the fucking conversation went anywhere, because there's no keeping track of any of this shit. But back to the thing I was saying about the Datura flower. I'm saying they probably use a Datura flower and said this stuff was real. But here's the thing, maybe this shit is real. Maybe they actually are seeing hellish dimensions that are real alternate realities. And not all, but another dimension that actually coexists side by side with ours. And there could be maybe thousands of layers to it. Maybe heaven can have multiple different layers. Maybe it could be, maybe just one layer of heaven could be bigger than our entire understanding of the known physical universe, according to what we can see with fucking Hubble telescope. And obviously all of this is just very out there fucking bullshit to be saying. But that's the main thing to say is this. If you believe in the Bible, if you believe in God and angels and demons, then really this isn't much of a leap. I mean, here's the thing, even if you're an atheist, I strongly suggest getting a King James version of the Bible and just sitting down and reading it. And here's the thing. Just treat it as a story that you're trying to read and understand. And also keep in mind that even if you don't believe in this, understand that this is a window to the past. You can understand how people in the past thought and felt about things to a degree, and what they thought was important to carry on. Now myself, I believe the Bible to be an accurate history book. And I've tried to explain the inconsistencies and paradoxes in it to people, especially in a lot of my community posts. That being said, in general, do I understand everything? No. I just understand the stuff I want to understand. But in general, it's this. I believe in God, but I don't believe in the concept of hell being justifiable. Do I believe there's possibly dimensions out there that would be considered a hell? Yes. I would say yes. After all, there's parts on the earth right now where there's people going through horrible, horrible experiences that no human should ever endure. And, I mean, if we can go that far in our physical dimension, then obviously it would make sense that there would be spiritual dimensions that could be far worse. That could be every idea of a hell anyone's ever thought of. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not justifiable. Now, are they real? Probably. But is it right? No. There's no justification for it. I've tried to explain that over and over. There's like I said, I feel like demonophobia and Hellraiser are good thought experiments, psychological case studies of the practicality and the reasoning of those things. I mean, think of it like this. How can anyone with any sense of compassion or empathy think it's at all justifiable for someone to be tortured, let alone for eternity? How is any good of that? How can you think it's okay for somebody to be condemned to such an evil fate? Even the people that are truly... Now granted, don't be wrong, not everyone deserves heaven. There are some people out there that are horrible, terrible, terrible people. But I'm not saying they deserve to be tortured for eternity either. Just have them just not exist anymore. Just go to oblivion. I mean, what's the point of torturing someone for eternity? That's nothing but sadistic. There's no point. That's nothing but evil. How could anyone with any amount of kindness or compassion in them be okay with that? And in general, I'll say this. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I think it is virtuous for people to believe in Jesus. But I don't think anyone should be forced to. And I don't think anyone in this life or the next should be punished for anyone they do or do not believe in. I don't think anyone should be punished in this life or next life in any way for any God they do or do not believe in. Because at that point, you're just having a difference of opinion. Obviously, if you're being malevolent and hurting people, then yes, that's horrible. But there is no sin in people trying to understand the world or trying to think about things logically. And I can understand people not believing in God because they see certain things as illogical. That's fine. I don't think anyone should be punished for that. Even when they die, I don't think they should be punished in any way. And I don't think anyone should be forced to believe a certain way. After all, people, we can talk, we can understand each other. People should have at least the basic amount of understanding and compassion to be able to communicate with each other. If a person's a good person, then they'll all just listen to each other. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to force someone to believe what you want to believe. Like I said, it's just about expressing yourself so that you can understand how you feel better and they can understand how you feel and you understand where they feel. And if there's any sort of major problem between the two groups, then everyone can just separate from each other. I mean, if people can't get along peacefully, then they can just stay away from each other. There's no reason for anyone to be hurting one another. As far as I'm concerned, the only reason why anyone should ever hurt anybody is self-defense or defense of another. And that should be your only reason to ever hurt anybody, is if somebody's trying to hurt you, or you see that somebody's hurting someone else, and you want to protect that other person. It's like, I feel like everyone should have a gun, but no one should ever want to use it. Like, I feel like everyone should be able to play horror games, and watch horror movies and shit, and play FPS, but no one should ever want to actually hurt anyone. It's like the idea, like, there's so many pastors out there that preach and preach and preach about hell and how hell is justified and it's right for sinners to go to hell, but they won't watch, like, fucking Friday the 13th because they find it gross and disgusting and violent. How can you not... You dislike that, but how can you then advocate for an entire eternity of someone being ripped apart? Like, when that's infinitely worse. Even... It's just like they treat it like outside of mind because they're not just not thinking, or they're like, oh, this people are bad. No. Even really terrible people. And again, I'm no saint. Obviously, there's plenty of people I feel angry about and towards, and I'm pretty sure, especially if I was like in a fucking military and drafted a war, yes, I would definitely be shooting people to stay alive. Yes, I definitely would. Because at that point, I would just want to try to stay alive. I would want to not die, and I would want to not be hurt. You know, it's just an issue of fear and survival. And again, I mean, I could admit that. I would be fucking terrified. And I would just be trying to stay alive. I'm not going, especially people in the past. Not only do they have lack of information about certain things, but also a lot of times they were just forced into situations. Or they had very shitty circumstances. At the end of the day, is this. I treat it as this. God understands the hearts and minds. So I think God is a fair, benevolent being that will make good decisions. In general, why does God not really get involved in things? Simple. He's treating the world like a fucking RNG experiment. The idea is, what will humans do if humans have absolute power to do fucking everything, and God just doesn't get involved? The idea is, what will people do if God doesn't involve? And granted, there are some times where God does do a little push, especially in the past. But the idea is, why doesn't God intervene? And the answer is, he's treating it like a fucking RNG experiment. He's just seeing what happens when you have all these humans who all are, expressing their free will, as well as with random, number generation in terms of, just chance and circumstance. Whether it be weather or just situations that are like accidents or out of people's control. And people could question the morality of that, but at the end of the day, there's a lot to it. My main point is this. I don't think it's okay. Obviously, I was in a situation where I was like I encountered like Hitler or something. And I see Hitler like hurting innocent people. Would I probably be moved to such anger I'd want to kill Hitler? Yes. Would I possibly be moved to such anger if I see people like raping and murdering people that I would want to do horrible things to those people? Probably. I would hope I'm never in such a situation, but I also know I have very strong emotions and feelings, and if I were seeing innocent people, like I've seen footage of people like beating dogs and shit, and it makes me so incredibly angry to see, or hear stories about people hurting innocent people. You have one group of people that's attacking another group of people, and I feel angry. Even though I have nothing to do with either group of people. But also sometimes those group of people are threatening that violence to come to other places, including eventually toward me or people I care about. At which point then it becomes an issue of self-preservation as well. But in general, it's just an issue of, a lot of times, things do affect your emotions and your feelings. Now, of course, you shouldn't let your feelings and emotions control you. But of course, they're good motivators for interactions, because a lot of times those are evolved things that for the sake of survival. Like anger. Like if you're in a situation where someone's trying to hurt you and you feel anger that then spurs you to violently attack them, well, I mean, the whole purpose of that is your survival. It's the brain chemistries interacting that way for the purpose of keeping you alive. Now, of course, understanding what to do and when in the situation, that's part of growing up being an adult, and I can't tell you guys what to do that because honestly, every situation's unique. At the end of the day, I would say just give it a lot of thought and try to do what's best. Like, you should definitely be interested in what's in your own best, personal interest and what's in the interest of your survival. Heck, a really great story, The Odyssey by Homer. There was a movie in 1997, stars Armand Assante. It's called The Odyssey. It's about a guy named Odysseus. It's from back in Greek mythology times, air quotes. And the idea is that at one point, Odysseus tells his son Telemachus that to be angry is easy, but to be angry at the right man, at the right time, at the right place, and for the right reason, now that is difficult. And I think I feel like that would be something everyone could benefit from, because even stories like Don Quixote. Heck, Don Quixote was a story written by a dude named Cervantes, and for a long time it was the second most published book in the world, second only to the Bible. And it's essentially a story of a guy in like the 1500s who was never exactly rich, but he had enough money to never have to work, and he spent almost all his time basically just reading, stories of, from a few hundred years ago and stuff, like just stories of knights and chivalry and honor. Basically, he was reading anime and manga, because that's what the equivalent is. Don Quixote is basically an otaku who is reading his light novels and his manga and watching his anime. And then he basically went out on a journey to try to be a Bishonen protagonist. Also, even though these words did not exist at the time, when you look at the way Don Quixote behaves and speaks, and the hallucinations that he has, and the way he tends to be forgetful at times, and the fact that he's an elderly person, it is very easy to assume, if not guarantee the thought, that Don Quixote probably has Alzheimer's, possibly even Parkinson's. He has some form of dementia to a degree. But I would say it's Alzheimer's. But of course, there was no word for such a thing back then. And in fact, it was very rare for people to really live properly to that age without other major issues. So I think he was an otaku, who was an elderly person, who he went out with Alzheimer's and tried to be a Bishonen protagonist. And a lot of the story is him trying to make the world a better place. If anything, he's trying to be an example to other people. He sees the honor and bravery and the strength and the good character of the people in the stories of the knights of the King Arthur's and the knights of the Round Table. And he looks at the people in the world around them, and he feels so disappointed and disgusted. It'd be like, take your average otaku watching a bunch of Bleach and seeing how fucking awesome fucking Ichigo is with his fucking Zangetsu sword. And then you turn on the fucking news and you hear depressing story after depressing story, and you hear people just being mean and hateful and petty to each other, and you feel so ashamed of just how superficial and shallow and just vindictive and mean-spirited everyone is. And how everyone seems to be just driven by, greed or vanity or just vengeance. And you then just pick up a fucking wooden stick and you go out and imagine it's an actual sword. And you just start screaming bankai as you try to fight gang members and shit. Now, obviously, in real life, if someone did that, they'd probably just get shot and die. But the whole point of my story like that is me just trying to make a joke and make a laugh for you guys to laugh at the story. But the point remains is, even if you're not an otaku like I am, even if you're not a complete loser fucking degenerate like I am, you can feel the same way I do. That you turn on the news and you hear these terrible stories, that you see the way our society is, and you just feel depressed. It feels like the news is just bad story after bad story, bad thing after happening, this person getting hurt. Like, it feels like you have constant things like, oh, we're about to go to war, the economy's about to be shit, everyone seems to hate each other, there's always a protest everywhere about everything, where everyone's, and then you have people having insane opinions about things that even I'm looking at like, what the fuck's wrong with these people? Like, there's people that have, and And they care so much about some sort of cause without knowing anything about it, and without any concern about empathy about how their cause is actually hurting people or anything. And even then, I'm like looking at these people doing these protests and shit. I'm like, how do you not have a job? How do you have time to go to these places to do this shit? I'm always fucking working or watching an anime. You know, like, how do you have the time to do this shit? And if you have this time, why not just spend it with your family or loved ones, or playing guitar, or catching up on sleep, or eating a good pizza? Why are you out there? Especially since a lot of times, it's just, you hear these bad stories all the time. Or you see, and again, another thing about the Bishonen protagonist, he's someone who's like, yes, this person's strong and courageous. It allows you to sort of, it's like, anyone ever like watch Batman and pretend you're Batman? Like, I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman. Which is fucking, it's fun. It's like everyone's done that as a little kid, right? And to a degree, I think men never stop. You like to see yourself in the role of the hero. You know, the idea of, and some people even think about this stuff as motivation when they were working out to try to become better. And of course, some people actually are heroes. But in general, people look at that stuff and they're just like, it's like Shakespeare. Like, having fun with a story. You have, like, it'd be like, you know, hitting your punching bag or going out jogging and just, like, you ever say Kaioken to yourself while you're jogging to try to imagine that it's making you go faster? You know, it's just, like, anyone ever try to, like, do the Naruto run? Or to, like, pretend you're doing a Kamehameha? Or especially you're playing with, you know, friends and you're just, like, pretending to be various anime characters and playing. Or heck, even a bunch of guys just playing Call of Duty, just talking to each other. Even if you're not even in the same room or same city. You know, you're just doing a casual, chill activity. You're not really caring too much about winning. Don't get me wrong, you're still trying to be competitive, you're still trying to win. But the main thing you're doing is just trying to relax, unwind, maybe turn your brain off for a while after having so much worries and concerns about everything in the world. Everything's so stressful and frustrating. And heck, let's be clear, most of us, including myself, we feel like we're fucking losers and failures, okay? I mean, we're never going to be rich. We're never going to really own a home. We might be spending most of our time alone. A lot of our time, we think about how we've been mistreated or people have said horrible things to us. And we might feel like, you know, we're just all around failures and just not of any value or worth or cared about. So, on the one hand, maybe it's escapism. On the other hand, maybe just striving to be more like a fictional anime character. You can at least improve yourself and at least make yourself better in some way. You know, little by little, just make life better. But I mean, I'm pretty sure people out there, even if you're not as much an otaku, loser, degenerate as I am, you also get depressed looking at the fucking news. You also feel that in your day-to-day life that sometimes it's just a grind of just doing the same work over and over. And sometimes you're exhausted. Sometimes you feel like there's not enough Red Bull in the world. Sometimes you feel like you're in pain, or your legs hurt, or your elbows hurt, or your knees hurt, your back wants to give out on you. Maybe sometimes you come home from work and you lay down in bed and you feel like there's parts of different muscles are just throbbing. And you feel like you maybe need to go to Walmart and get some fucking icy hot, or maybe take some Advil to make the pain stop. Maybe there's some days you wake up and you feel like you didn't sleep at all and you just feel so exhausted. There are some days where you feel like so isolated, where you feel like nobody fucking cares about you, that you don't really have anyone to talk to, that you feel like you have no friends, and you feel like all the friends and family you had basically just are gone, and you feel like you've been abandoned and betrayed by everyone. You feel like you can't do anything right, and you feel like every time you try to do anything, you just fail, and if not, you make things worse, and you waste all that effort, and it's like, and it feels very discouraging. And it's like here, saying, like, say if you're working on a skill, or say, if you're trying to get through something, or even going to the gym, you know, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have setbacks. Heck, you might have several really bad days in a row, back to back to back. And then the day is this. Keep your eyes on the goals that you have in the future. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day is this. You might feel shitty if you're weak and aimless. And at the end of the day, you might be weak because you're aimless. You know? one thing that makes you strong is having a goal or something you're trying to strive for. But don't set an unrealistic goal. Set reasonable goals, work toward them, and always want to improve. As I've said before, like Goku's a lot like Mario Kurochiki from Bleach, because both of them find the idea of perfection disgusting. Because it means there's nowhere further for me to go, no new adventure, nothing to gain. With both Goku and Mayuri Kurochiki from Bleach, by never being perfect. Now granted, they don't want to be lower, mind you. They want to be the best of the best. Like Goku wants to be strongest. He always wants to be stronger. He wants to be proud of himself. Same as Mayuri Kurochiki. Mayuri Kurochiki wants to be seen as the smartest. He always wants to be getting smarter. He always wants to be learning new discoveries and making improvements. He always wants to basically be the best, to be seen as the best scientist. But even though he wants to be the best scientist and better and smarter than everyone else, and he wants to basically be praised for those achievements, he always wants something more. He always wants to get better. Same way Goku wants to be regarded as a great, but also he wants someone stronger so that he can then raise that level and surpass them and then do it again and again. He wants, if not excitement, if not something to strive for. And then there's this. Yes, downtime is important. You shouldn't stress yourself out too much. It's important to have time to relax. It's important to take some time to just sit and just drink some fucking Earl Grey tea and just sit on the grass, touch the grass, look out at the clouds moving through the sky. And it's both important to have time to just sit there and just be yourself and just calmly relax, enjoying nature, with not saying anything, not worrying about anything. Sometimes you'll be alone with your own thoughts and you can just wander through all these amazing thoughts. Some will be good, some will be bad, but honestly, that's how you understand yourself. Heck, a lot of times, yes, it's good to be happy. It's good to have light, cheery things. But a lot of times what's going to make you stronger is the times you spend in darkness. A lot of times what's going to make you stronger is the times you spend alone, in solitude, working on things by yourself, striving and working and working and working with no recognition, no one caring, no one even knowing you exist, and no one even caring if you exist. Working and striving toward a goal with no incentive other than you just want to do it, other than you just want to be better, other than you just want to learn how to play a new song, other than you just want to learn how to hit that guitar riff just right, whether you just want to hit a few more pounds on that fucking bench press, whether you want to be able to do a few extra push-ups before you fucking collapse, whether you just want to do a little bit better at a fucking, time for your quarter-mile run or some shit. Whether it's just you want to have just a slightly better feeling to where you don't get out of breath so bad. Even if there's no incentive, even if there's no way you're never gonna be running professionally in the fucking Olympics or some shit, you're never gonna really ever use it. But it's something, it's not even an issue of vanity or petty pride, because at least then there's some goal you have, and even then, like I can say, okay, have a six-pack one day, or be able to, be able to lift a certain amount, but even then that's not everything. It's just wanting to do it for the sake of doing it. Something you just want to do. It's like reading the Bible. I just feel like reading it. I just feel like reading books. It's like doing this. Like there's no incentive for this. I gain nothing. I'm just here rambling at my computer. It accomplishes nothing. It's just something I want to do. And same way, like, you have goals. Even if the goal isn't something concrete, even if there isn't a set end goal, have something to strive for. Even if it's just you want to make a fucking Let's Play video. Even if it's just you want to draw an anime character. Even if you do a shit job of it. It don't fucking matter. After all, it's not like you're making your own fucking manga, and if you are, then obviously work out a lot harder for that goal. But the main point is this. Just have a goal for the sake of the goal, because it's something you want to do. Goku isn't trying to aim for, like, I want to get some sort of title as, like, world martial arts champion, like Hercule. Hercule cares about that fucking belt, about that title. Goku isn't in it for fucking trophies or even to fucking make a buck. He's doing it because it's what makes him happy. It's part of who he is. And a lot of the time he spends in that training, it's painful. It's hard work. And there's a lot of times where it's not happy. But it's something he wants to do, even if it's not all sunshine and rainbows all the time. And that's the thing. There's going to be things that you want to do that are not always going to be happy. You're not always going to... Sometimes it's not going to be, easy. Sometimes it'll be downright hard. In fact, if not straight up impossible. Here's the thing. Like, I sometimes try to copy, like, Mike Tyson's fucking shit. I will never be 1/1,000,000th of what he is in terms of athleticism or skill, let alone power. But at least by trying my best, I can at least be better. And I genuinely enjoy it. I enjoy the trying. Even if it is effort, it is exhausting, and there's times you're going to be really sore. And I can't say I've really succeeded in any way that makes me look like anything other than a failure, because I am. I am a complete fucking failure. By any person's metric, I am a failure and I'm a worthless person. There's no reason why anybody would ever fucking care about me. But it doesn't fucking matter. I like what I like. I do what I want. I strive for what I want to accomplish. I am not a good role model. I am not somebody that anybody should ever want to try to be like. I'm just me. And that's just what it is. I like trying to... Like, I'll listen to Korn and Godsmack and shit, and Pantera and Rammstein and Icebreaker while I'm fucking juggling, the acrobatic multicolored balls in my fucking living room. I'm not any good at it, but I enjoy it. It's fun. I like it. And over time, maybe I'll get better at it. But the goal isn't for me to be good at it. And again, that's not a good motivational speak for anybody, because everyone out there wants to be good at stuff so they can have some sort of bragging rights or make money off of it, or like, ooh, I learned this skill, so now I can make tons of money off it and impress people. Whereas me, I just like playing the guitar. I just like drawing. I just like trying to punch my punching bag or lift some weights. Granted, I have no natural talent, and I've accomplished nothing. And I have nothing I can show off or gain in any way. But I think it's good to just know what kind of person you are and what it is you want in life. And me, in general, I like just having a peaceful life where I can be able to make videos, where I can read books, where I can watch anime, maybe have a cute futa waifu one day. Yeah, I still have to make you guys uncomfortable listening to this. Not that it's ever stopped being uncomfortable. But the main point is this. It's good for a person to not be aimless in life. You have to have some direction you're going in. Even if it's a direction that no one else would understand. Even if it's a direction that people would look at you and say, but you won't make any money doing that. You won't get anything. You won't get a reward. It's like, at no point is Goku going to get a fucking trophy or some shit. And even if he did, would he really care about it? I mean, me, I probably would. Honestly, if I got a trophy for some shit, I'd be like, yay! Because I'm apparently that not only lonely, but I'm also just desperate for any sort of emotional validation or affection, because, well, honestly, I'm just very starved for it. It's kind of like, why do most people like yanderes in anime? It's because they're starved for any sort of love or affection. Heck, I don't even remember what a hug feels like, and I tend to be a bit paranoid because I've been in a lot of situations where people have been very abusive to me. Heck, I was bullied very, very badly in school, to the point that if someone's near me and they raise their hand in the air, I flinch because I reflexively think that they're going to fucking punch me. As well as I do also have a little bit of a reaction where my body is tensing as if I need to, like, either back up or, go forward to attack them in terms of defense. Again, that's maybe some psychological issues that maybe at some point I should probably have therapy about. But at this point, I'm not even sure I'm fixable. Heck, like I said, I don't know to what degree what's my natural personality and what's just been environment tearing me the fuck down. But I guess the main thing I want to do is this. I want to just be myself and talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about, do whatever the fuck I want with these channels. Channel. But basically, videos, playlists, whatever. I like singing karaoke. I'm not good at it, but I like doing it. It's fun, and it's a good way for me to express my feelings and emotions. And I guess in general, I just want to encourage other people that even if you're depressed, even if you feel worthless, even if you feel like no one cares, keep going. Take it day by day. Even if it feels like there's no success anywhere in sight, even if it feels like there's no light at that end of that tunnel, that it's going to be a never-ending journey of bullshit and getting kicked around by the world, keep going. At the end of the day, just know that your life does matter. And there are people out there that do care about you. I remember one thing I felt when I was younger, growing up, is that even as a little kid, what I felt I wanted to do when I grew up is I wanted to be kind. I saw all the fucking shit, the way people treated each other, and I just couldn't fucking stand it. And I just felt from that moment, I want to grow up to be a kind person. I want to be kind. And I value kindness in people. There are people out there who appreciate you for who you are. There are people out there, no matter who you are listening to this, as long as you have kindness in your heart, there are people that are happy and glad that you're alive, even if you haven't met them yet. As long as you have kindness in your heart, there is still good in you, and you're still a good person, and there is still value in you, and there's still something in you that deserves and has a right to be loved. Whatever happens in this world to you, no matter who you are listening to this, no matter how much this fucking world kicks you down, it's not about whether or not you get knocked down or not. You're gonna get knocked down. Especially, here's the thing, if you're doing shit right, there are gonna be people fucking talking shit to you. That's what happens when you're different anyway. And maybe that's not good. People just want to be accepted a lot of times. I can understand that. I'm not gonna tell anyone to have to be a certain way. I'm just saying this. You're gonna get knocked down at any goal you go to. Whether it's just being yourself, or if it's trying to succeed at some goal, or to be good at something. You're going to fail over and over again. But it's not about whether you don't get knocked down. It's about how many times can you get back up again. And you're going to have to get up. And it's going to be hard. And you're going to need help sometimes. And it's going to be like a struggle. And heck, there might be sometimes you go to get back up and you can't do it and you start to fall even further down. You just have to keep getting back up. No matter how hard it is, no matter how depressed you feel, no matter how upset you are about things, no matter how hopeless it feels, no matter how dejected or depressed or broken or just beyond fixing you feel, get back up. Keep trying. No matter what happens, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. No matter how much this fucking place, this fucking world kicks the fucking shit out of you, don't stop being kind. Now, of course, that doesn't mean you have to be kind to everyone. Your kindness is a gift. It's something special. It's something precious in you. Don't give it to everyone. There's people out there that don't fucking deserve that shit. They either don't deserve to know you at all, or they don't deserve your kindness or empathy. Don't waste it on them. Your kindness is precious, and it is a gift, and it is something special. But there are certainly those who do deserve it. And you are one of those people. Make sure to always keep that kindness to yourself and have compassion and gentleness. And of course, there will be people that are good. Yes, there are people out there that are fucked up. I'm not saying sink down to their level, but I'm saying this. Don't be a fucking doormat either. But I'll tell you this. If you see wholesome people, be wholesome to them. If people are kind to you, be kind to them. Do everything you can to protect yourself and to protect innocent people and to protect the people that matter most to you in this world. Because at the end of the day, that's one big thing about the whole downtime thing is whether it's taking time to just relax and enjoy life, or if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, father, son, daughter, cousin, friend, or even like a pet, like a doggo. You have a little pet doggy, or a cat, or a bunny. Heck, value the time you spend with them. Heck, I know there's this one VTuber guy. He has 2 bunnies, and one of them recently wound up getting like some sort of like infection from a parasite, and it was a rare thing that happened. It happened here recently, a few weeks ago. He's talking about it on the internet, and that rabbit, because he has 2 rabbits, and they get along, and just the rabbit's always going to have a bit of a head tilt from now on because it causes a little bit of neurological damage. Had they not caught it in time, that rabbit would be dead. And I'll tell you this, he is probably feeling miserable about that having happened. But he's also expressed that he's very grateful that they were able to catch it in time, that his little bunny friend is not dead. And he notices that the other bunny friend is still happy that the other one's there. Now, granted, the other bunny's going to have a little bit of a head tilt now on and might occasionally have a little bit of a limp. But I can guarantee you this, that guy is going to be very patient and kind with his rabbit. He loves and cares about it as if, you know, it's one of his best friends. And that's the thing. That's an important thing in life, just spending time, even if it's an animal. Because at the end of the day, that animal is still part of a family to some people. You know, there's people that have dogs or cats, and those pets are precious to them. And they actually care about the feelings and emotions of those animals. And they talk to those animals as if they're people. So I'm saying, you know, spending time with them, that's not a waste of time. Spending time with your friends, whether you go to a bar and play some fucking pool and billiards and stuff. You know, even if you don't talk about anything important or special or personal, just spending the time with people you care about is important. Spending time playing, like, say you like guitar or any instrument, spending time playing that instrument, it's still special because it's something you enjoy doing. Even if it's playing a video game or watching an anime, enjoying the art, the music, the voice acting, the story, it's something you enjoy. It's not a waste of time. You know, if you enjoy doing Nuzlocke of Pokemon or speedrunning a Pokemon video game, that's not a waste of time. It's something you enjoy. Now, yes, people could say you could use that time better to work, you know, to make money or to strive for some goal. And that's true. You could use it that way. But it's up to you to decide what use of your time is most important for you and what will make you happy. Everyone's got different goals. And not everything's going to be achieved. But my main thing I want to say to people is this. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And most of all, be kind to the people that you care about in life. Don't be a doormat. Don't let people walk all over you. And your kindness is something special. It's just for the people that deserve it. But don't let the way the world mistreats you, or the pain that you feel at a lot of things, and the stress, and sometimes where you're worried about whether or not you'll be able to pay bills, or if you can do your job, or how your body's hurting you, or how somebody has said something very wrong to you or very unfair to you. Don't let that change who you are. If you have a gentleness and a kindness in your heart, don't let that be destroyed. Now, yes, there is definitely going to be a darkness inside you. There's going to be anger and feelings. That doesn't make you a bad person. But no matter what, that kindness and gentleness, protect it. Don't stop having hope. Don't stop trying. Even if you never succeed. Even if you never succeed, get back up every single time. Even if you're struggling to get back up, keep trying. So, just keep doing what you can, okay? Don't give up. Try your best. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to those you love and care about. Be kind to those who are kind to you. And just try to be a good person. And by that I mean, be the best version of yourself you can be. Try to be happy. Try to be courageous. Try to be strong. Try to be smart. Try to be competent. Try to be good at things. Try to be capable. Try to be better at things. Set goals. Have aim that you're shooting for. Even if there's no purpose to what you're aiming for, even if it's just something that you want. Whether it's, like I said, you just want to learn to play a new song on your guitar. Yes, it's not going to accomplish anything. You learning 100 new songs. Even if you had an entire band, like say, even if you were to sit down and learn every Disturbed and every System Down, every Korn song in existence, that's not going to accomplish anything. But it's still your goal. It's still something you want to do. Your goals don't have to have some sort of concrete reward. There doesn't have to be a trophy. There doesn't have to be some finish line for you to cross. It could just be you could do what you want to do, and you have your goals, you have your aim, even if it is just to do what you want to do. Just to believe in yourself, just to keep having hope, just to go through another day, to make that day happy, to make it less miserable. Even if you're working a shit job that is hour after hour, and you feel it's monotonous and tedious, and you feel like you want to bash your head into the wall. As long as you get through another day, as long as you're able to get some good sleep, eventually, so that you can have renewed strength the next day. So even if you have multiple days in a row you're not hardly getting much sleep, as long as you can have that like day 4 days later where you can at least catch up on sleep, so that way you can get back into it, so that you can keep trying. So yeah, I know this is a fucking shitty fucking motivational speech that honestly no one should be listening to, because why would you listen to me? There's nothing good about me for you to want to be like. But the main point I'm saying is this. If there's kindness inside you, don't let that kindness die. And no matter how much you fall down, keep getting back up and keep trying. And above all, love yourself and take care of yourself. I'm going to try this song one more time. I'm sorry, I pulled a me. I pulled a Lunar, where I basically go off on some sort of weird tangent talking about random bullshit that honestly means nothing to no one. That honestly there's no reason for anyone to fucking care. I just don't really have anyone else to talk to, and even then, if I do have, it's just... I'm just me. And this is like I said, I pulled a Lunar. I went off and I just started talking about just whatever random bullshit was on my mind. I'll try one more time to sing this song. Like I said, some really cool bands. You guys ever heard of Tool, Perfect Circle, Smile and Peace Soul, Tiamat, Malmsteen? Really great bands. Heck, I think everyone's listening to Pink Floyd. You guys ever hear Judas Priest? Metallica's pretty good. Like I said, Infected Mushroom, Linkin Park. There's tons of Nightcore music out there. Heck, there's video game soundtracks, anime soundtracks. You guys ever get a chance to listen to the original 3 Pokemon soundtracks from back in 1999, 2000, and 2001? They're really great music. But yeah, I'll try this song one more time. I'm sorry I pulled a me.